Hiya, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Beyond the Static, the podcast introducing you to your next favorite band. I'm your host.
Anyway,
Today's guest is Johnny from the band Keep Flying.
So, why don't you start by, introducing yourself, what you do for the band, and tell me a little bit about where you guys started from.
all right. What's up, universe? My name's John. I play saxophone and scream and add ad libs for the band Keep Flying. We started in 2016 with a few of us. The current lineup of the band is still some of the people who started the band, but not all. But we started based out of West Jersey, Blairstown area / East Pennsylvania, Stroudsburg area. That was the original kind of home base for the band, and it has since changed to nowhere, essentially. And we got started on the piggyback of our lead singer's old band breaking up / the rest of us who were not in his band wanting to start a new band for the first time in quite some time. So that's kind of how we got kick started.
Okay. I saw some of the mention of the old band, and I kind of went in. You guys were not what I was expecting, to be honest with you. Like, I was just expecting like straight pop punk, and it's not like you guys are ska, but it's like actually like real, like straight up pop punk, just with some hornstone in there. Like, was that like a conscious decision, or just kind of how it came about?
I'm glad you get it, because we do often have to deal with being labeled one kind of band or the other. We definitely are more of clearly a authentic punk band. If you want to tiptoe between pop punk and skate punk and just, punk rock, sure. We're not really ska at all, because they're the elements that make ska music. We don't really have any of them, except that we have horns. But if you hear horns in any other kind of music, you don't just say, oh, that's ska. How many pop songs have horns all over them? You don't say ska, but for some reason, because we play punk rock and there's horns in it, we get put into that category, which is fine. And also probably coupled with the fact that both myself, our singer, and other members of our band used to be in ska bands. So, totally valid for people to put us there, and we don't mind it, but we're definitely more punk with horns. And yes, it was completely a conscious decision to do that. The last band that I had been in was moving in that direction of like more punk rock with horns. Henry's old band was moving in that direction of more punk rock with horns. And when we started this, the idea was, let's skip right to no transitions. Let's just be a punk band with horns. Let's just do that. We want to try something different, and I'm glad we did. It was. I think that's what sets us out in both of those genres. You put us on a ska show, we have no ska really in the music, and we're like a hyper energetic punk rock band. You stick us on the pop punk show, and everyone's like, they've got sax and trombone. All right, that's something different. So I'm glad that we that's where we are.
Yeah, dude,
We like to float around, as they say.
Yeah, it's definitely carving out like your own unique lane in the genre, and like the punk arena. So that's really cool. So about the new record. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, first of all, tell everybody what's going on with it, where they can find it, all that fun stuff, and just talk about your experience like making it, and like where you guys were coming from with that.
Sure. So our newest record is called Survival. We put it out December 18th last year. It was supposed to come out in May, but just like a lot of other records and labels and management companies and all that jazz in the music industry, there's been people were very scared about releasing music during COVID. We definitely hit the wall where we decided, all right, we don't want to wait no more. Touring's not coming back, and we know that this won't do as well without the touring, but we don't want to wait any longer. So that was when we decided on December 18th, a time where there's normally not a lot of records coming out. So hopefully we could shine through. We had recorded the record with Nick Brazizi and Ace Enders at the Lumberyard in January, February of last year. We spent 2 weeks in the studio with a break in between the 2 weeks. We did half the record each of the weeks. Henry had wrote a bulk of the music. A lot of the songs changed a bit in the studio once we started doing the production. And I wrote all the horns for this record. I wrote them all in the studio, and that was a really rewarding experience for me because I think it's the best horn work I've ever done. I also wrote the trombone parts, and then we had a friend come in and just record over the parts that I had written. He changed some things, but mostly it was done already. Lyrically, it is a story. Henry's lyrics are very truthfully about what his life has been the last few years. And I know I relate to it as well as the rest of my bandmates. And I think a lot of our community really took a lot of value from what he had to say this time around. The record's called Survival for that exact reason. We put a record out during COVID. Also, it's just about getting through the day and out the other side, getting up for work and getting back from work and being able to, pay your bills and really survive, which was the undertone of the record and also of the band itself. The name of our band is Keep Flying. The word survival goes super well with the phrase keep flying. It's just about pushing and doing what you need to do to make it through the day. It starts in Fire Sale with Henry talking about fucking all the shit that hit the fan all at once and just being able to really make it out the other side, to Fashion Statement, which is more about you don't have to try so hard. We're older now. Why are you still trying so hard to be something you're not? Or just be yourself and do you, and you have your people, and those people support you, and the people who don't, they don't, and they're never gonna. It's all good. To Late Reply, which is just a sentiment about can't always be on top of things due to the first song, Fire Sale, all the things that happen. Like, sorry for the late reply. Can't always be on the phone, can't always answer you back right away. It's 2021. Like, everybody's got to give everybody a little bit of a break when it comes to stuff like that. Stop being so nervous that someone didn't read your Instagram message so quickly. We have lives. To Interstate, which is about those same people who don't support you. They don't support you, so what's the point in bringing someone down? Like, there's enough space for everyone to exist, so maybe just step to your side and stay in your lane, and we'll stay in ours. No reason to kind of cross over. Like, we're not good with each other, and that's okay. To They Never Lie Down, which is about our band. It's about all the time that we've spent and wanting to see it through and not wanting to give up on it, especially as Henry and I both are in the 30s now. Chuck's about to be 30. We just want to push on. To Surviving the Night, which is the climax of the record and the last lyric of the record, which is I'm waking up, and it's acceptance that things might not be perfect and the day might not be easy, but we've got to do it. You got to get up and you got to deal with it and you gotta accept it is what it is, and be happy for what you've got. And I think it's very honest and realistic. And I think, I mean, so far it seems people's reaction to the record lyrically is very moving, very relatable content for a lot of people, especially through this last year of COVID, where everyone's lives changed either a little or a lot. I think it's people have been doing a lot of growth. I know I have had the most growth I've ever had personally in this last year, more than the last 7 years combined. That's really important for me to be able to say that in a healthy way. And yeah, we pressed it to vinyl via Smart Punk again. 700 copies first press. We did an orange variant that blew out, a purple and white variant that also is gone now, and we're actually down to less than like 40 copies of the record through the Smart Punk shop site. It's like 15 copies of the white with blue splatter and like 25 copies of the half and half. So we feel really good about that. We got a couple distros to pick up some records in the UK, so our product is over there. And that's kind of where we're at, you know. We would clearly be touring like everyone else, and we would be pushing this super hard, and we're just looking forward to getting back to it when we're able to. And until then, we'll just keep coming up with ways to celebrate and, you know, hang out in any way we can. And that's it. You know, that's what it's been the last, since I guess a year now. You know, we're in February now. We started doing this record the end of January. So it's been a year of our record that's only actually been out for 2 months. So
That's what's up.
It's weird to think that it's only been out for 2 months
because of the time that you spent on it.
Yeah.
Dude, the song was escaping me, but like I definitely found everything that you were saying. Like I definitely found your album super relatable, and especially like with some things that are going on in my life personally, and like you said, that growth and that change that's happened the last year. And I guess now knowing that you guys are in your 30s as well, like that comes down like, okay, I get it. I understand why we're like eye to eye on that. So being in your 30s, like, how do I want to word this? Do you feel like there's any difference or any added pressures or any different like expectations of releasing music in your 30s versus in your 20s? And starting a new band and making that push in your 30s, because I know like for me, like I was afraid that it was too late to do something like that, but like but going forward anyway, it's almost like our generation is like kind of set back like 10 years in a way, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't even feel like you're taking a long shot in your 30s. It just feels like you're just doing the thing, right?
So when we first got started with this, I'm friends with a lot of, you know, music industry people. It's what I've been doing for work. I tour manage larger national bands. It's what I do for work. And over the years, I've just made a lot of friends with, you know, all my friends are involved in the music industry in some capacity, whether it's on a local level or on a global level. But one of the things that was actually said to me when we were first getting going, I think when we put out our second EP, Walkabout, I like shopped the record, and I asked a few of my friends who own labels, and somebody actually told me I was too old. That was one of the main things, is that I was too old. And ironically enough, I've seen a lot of those same labels signing plenty of artists that are in their 30 plus now category. So I don't think that that's actually accurate. I just think that was the time. at the time for that split second it was. I was definitely nervous because I hadn't done like a real band that was going to tour like an actual band, not just like something for fun on the side at home in since 2009. So I it had been 7 years. I asked my mom about it. Um, I was asked to, when I first heard the Keep Flying songs, I was asked to just record sax on the record, 4 songs, and I liked the song so much that I thought maybe I could do this one more try. Maybe I can give it a shot. And had a long conversation with my mother actually about this. Like, I would have to take off work and I would have to go back to losing money and back to, basically in reverse. And I'm so glad that she said that I should, because when we started playing shows and I remembered what it was like to really play like some basement shows, it was specifically at a house show where I really got this feeling. All of the money just instantly didn't matter because I was feeling something that I had been missing for a long time. And that I wouldn't trade for. Well, I guess I would trade for, if somebody offered me $1 million, I guess I would have to trade it. I got no choice. But that feeling is worth all of the opportunities I've missed for work and or any backwards motions I've had, because it really makes me less depressed. And it really is therapy for me. I know for some people that I work for and in the past, this whole thing has become a job. And for others, it still is passion and therapy. And it is therapy for me. Playing a set for 30 minutes, it is healing for me, especially when I know that at least one other person has been healed by it from the live show. So yeah, the real life things in your 30s hit harder when you're in your 30s than in your 20s. But I feel like you've got more of a choice in your 30s if you want to do it or you don't, because you're starting to realize, well, soon I'll be in my 40s. So I'm going to have to rethink about this then as well. And then I'll be in my 50s. And I don't think I'm going to be jumping around on stage in my 50s, but, who knows? I definitely think there's a stigma of, the classic, what are you doing with yourself? What are you doing with your life? Like, you're wasting your life away. But that's a really interesting point for someone to make who goes to Manhattan every day on the train, commuting an hour and a half back and forth Monday through Friday, to tell me that their savings are 35 grand in the bank because they've been commuting, paying for a monthly train pass. And they're telling me, yeah, this is worth it though, because I'll be able to retire at 61 and take all my trips then. Well, that's fine, but I'd rather work till I'm 90 and take my trips now while I'm young and sprightly and feeling good and not jaded. And, that also comes, I think it's different for everybody, but my grandfather's 90 years old and he's currently on unemployment because he was working up until Corona took his job. So some people want to retire at 45 and some people are happy to work for their whole life. And I have no issue with being someone who can do the things they want to do, knowing that I won't have no big retirement. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So I don't know. I think everyone's situation is going to clearly be different, but I even more so in your 30s, someone asking like, oh, I kind of want to get back into it. I'm going to be more adamant about someone in their 30s getting back into it than somebody who's 21. If you're 21, do whatever the hell you want. But if you're in your 30s, I think you should take the chance. I'm glad I did. And that's my thoughts there.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree with you that even something like this, like starting a podcast, taking that time out of work and out of your life, like, losing sleep and things of that nature. It seems like so worth it at this point. Just because it's like, you know, worst comes to worst, I got like 10 years to get my like all of my passions out, and then like fuck it, like that leaves another 20 years till retirement from like 45 to 65. So it's like, you know what? The time is still there regardless. So that's a great point you're making. Um so as a Jersey guy myself, I gotta ask. Um, so like Jersey, like the music that has come out of Jersey has been like it legendary, like worldwide. Like, do you ever like get that sense and like take a step back and look at it and be like, damn, I'm really a part of like this like incredible like legacy of like Jersey bands. Like I'm really a part of something really big here.
So I'm not going to front even for 1 second. I'm actually the Long Island guy in the band.
Okay.
That being said, Henry and Pete are the Jersey guys, and Chuck is a Philly guy. Chuck has been in South Philly his whole life. He's never left South Philly.
That's where I live now.
And Charlie is, and Charlie's in Allentown, Easton, Pennsylvania area. I can speak for everyone but Charlie because Easton doesn't really have a thing, but like I know our home shows now are Philly, Jersey, North Jersey, and Long Island. And I can speak for everyone when I say all of us love being from the Northeast. All of us love being from, the tri-state area plus Philly. And all of us love being part of each of those elements. And it's actually even more so, I guess it's kind of cheating that we claim all these places as home markets, but I mean, all of us we don't live in the same place. And I would say that we're inspired by lots of legends from Jersey, Long Island, and Philly. And yes, we definitely are proud of that, and want to nurture that. We've it's hard because we've talked about trying to do, like the classic saves the day with like, New Jersey logo on a t-shirt, like something about New Jersey. Like, because we're all spread out, it's tough to just put one because we're not really all from there. So like, how do you claim it? But then we got over that hurdle and we were just like, nah, we're going to claim all these places because we love all these places, and all these places have fucking legendary rock groups that we love. And I'm happy to be a part of that. Now, since COVID, our singer actually relocated to Columbia, South Carolina, where very few bands have came from. But I'm happy to have our very New Jersey singer down there, repping us in the Carolinas. Because as you know, there are a shit ton of New Jersey folks who have moved to the Carolinas or Georgia or Florida. We know this. It's very common. For instance, when we play Charlotte, last time we played Charlotte with Real Big Fish right before Corona hit, at one point we were like, all right, thanks to everybody. How many people here from North Carolina, born here? Half the crowd. How many people from New York, New Jersey? Half the crowd. It's like half the crowd here relocated from New York, New Jersey. Like, that's pretty wild. So yeah, man. I love where we live, and I'm glad we still live here. It's definitely, I don't know if it's a forever thing, but it's, a lot of talent and a lot of inspiration, not just from the other bands, but from where we live in the community and the shows and the attitude. And it's something that we talk about all the time. We always hope that we can recreate what we have in the home cities in every city in the US and the world. If we can recreate what we have at home in everywhere, it's like you're playing at home all the time. It's kind of an awesome thing to try to, kind of an awesome feat to try to attain. So, you know, we'll keep working on that. We'll keep working on that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And like, I didn't mean to slight Long Island, because you guys have some legends in your own right. Like, my favorite band is from Long Island. You know, I talked to another band, guy named Michael from Gamblers. I talked to him. I think he was one of my last interviews last year. So yeah, like, I saw mentioned. I was curious about that too, because I saw New Jersey mentioned in in one article that I looked up. I saw Long Island mentioned. I saw Indianapolis mentioned. I've seen like, so I'm just like, where are these guys actually from?
I will say we get mislabeled more often than any other band I know as far as where we're from, because we don't have a central place. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. We've been accused of being from Indianapolis. We've been accused of being from Cleveland, Ohio as well, because some of these places we play more often than the home show places, because we just keep going there and the shows are awesome. We have claimed ourselves that we are from Austin, Texas multiple times. So it really is always a treat for us when a flyer gets made, and I or like a Facebook event, and I'm like, I can't wait to find out where they said we're from, and I click it, and I'm like, it's always different. It's always like, where are we going to be from, and what kind of music are they going to say that we play? Indianapolis ska band, Keep Flying. What? That's not even close. You know, that's really far off. But you know, all right, we'll take it.
Oh my god!
And we never correct it either. We always, it's just a running gag with us. Also, we often get named as Flying High for some reason. I don't know. It is the most common. The names Keep Flying, but Flying High, we'll take it. That sounds fine.
Flying High ska band from Austin, Texas.
That's right. Right.
So you guys got any like live streaming things or any like events coming up that like anybody should know about that you wanna plug right now?
We have a new music video for Interstate going up next week. We have our first merch of a year going up in March. That is for the record, like survival, everything's survival themed, but we haven't actually done any new merch for a year. Besides the stuff that was through Smart Punk with the pre-order. We have special announcements with vinyl when the first press sells out that we're really excited about. We have some new music that we're working on. And we had a successful live stream last month, and we said if shows weren't back by the summer, then we will probably do another one. So I think the first one we did was a house show vibe. We did it in Peter's basement. And in June, I think we're gonna do a backyard show vibe. Same kind of DIY thing. And that's the plan, I think, for June. Since I mean, anything can happen, and we get new info every other day with COVID. But right now, I don't know that we're gonna still be able to tour in the summer. So June, I think, is a good time to do our second live stream, which was really fun. And that's kind of all the news right now. We're filming at the end of March 2 more videos for the last 2 tracks from Survival, and then the whole record will have music videos, which is kind of cool. We're just trying to stay busy doing anything really.
That's cool. I noticed you guys had the same guy like recording, like doing all of your videos. Is it just like a stylistic thing, or is it like how did that work out?
Jesse Gonzalez is basically a non-performing member of our band. He's been with us since day one, and I consider him a member. Just like Ricky He fills in right now on trombone. He's got the big beard. He does a lot of our social media stuff now and our merch, and he's basically a member of the band. Our friend Chris Papas, who does most of our artwork, we're very community based, and we want to, keep everybody on the same level. Just because you're not performing the songs doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a part of what it is we're doing. And Jesse's just grown. His talents have continued to grow exponentially. So he does most of our photo and video work, most of our music videos, most of our little graphics, promos, and all that kind of stuff. Almost all the live photos that we use are from stuff that he's shot. So yeah. Even when we use other people, he's usually involved in the process of shots or coloring, or he's involved. He's still involved, even if he's not the main person doing the video. So he is doing one of these last two, and someone else is doing the other one. So we actually have the last two videos will be done by Jesse and another guy. That being said, the new video coming out next week is done by Jesse. So, just another one for the archives.
That's what's up. So we're running a little short on time right now. I want to make sure that you have a chance to tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find you online, where they can find the record, and anything else that you need, social media and all of that.
All the socials are Keep Flying Band. The website is keepflying.band. Sometimes people are asking us what the lyrics are. They're all up there. Our YouTube page, Keep Flying Band, has all the videos, all that junk. And our records right now are at the Smart Punk Shop, which is, smartpunkshop.com. You can pick up the vinyl there until we do our own merch drop in March. But yeah, everything's Keep Flying Band, and yeah, that's where it all is. Support DIY music, and I don't know. That's it. Support this. Check it out.
Awesome.
I can do a little.
Oh, that's nice.
You like that?
Yes, sir.
You like that?
That is from here till there.
2004, my grandfather took the wallet-sized picture of me and colored the hair in with black Sharpie because he hated that it was red. All right.
And I guess you stuck with that.
Yeah. Well, this is my actual hair color, which is I don't know why I have black hair, but that's just how it is.
Fair enough.
But hey, what are you gonna do?
Just live with it. Just live with it.
Yeah, that's right. I live with it every day.
Yeah.
Live with it every day.
All right, Johnny. Thank you so much for joining me and taking some time out of your day. And I'm glad we got everything worked out.
This was awesome, man. So very stoked. You know what I'm saying?
Yup, a lot of fun. Bring it back old school.
You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite gentlemen right here. So, we keep it real over here. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I want to give a huge thank you to Johnny for joining me here on Beyond the Static. Make sure you follow Keep Flying at Keep Flying Band on all the social media platforms, and keepflying.band is their website. While you're there, make sure to follow Beyond the Static on all the major social platforms. It's Beyond the Static Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and BTS Podcast on Twitter. Also, if you have the chance to get over to the website, www.beyondthestaticpodcast.tk, make sure to sign up for our email list so we can send you direct updates and episodes straight to your inbox. Thanks for listening, guys, and make sure to tune in next week when I speak with Alex from UK band Royals.